Hi, it's Claire Saunders from What's New in Electronics on day 2 at IPC Apex, and I'm joined by Miles from KIC. How are you, Miles?
I'm doing well.
Good, good. So Miles, just firstly starting off, can you just give us a reminder of what KIC do, please?
Yeah, KIC, we like to think of as a higher level that we're a solution provider around thermal process
Okay.
in electronics manufacturing. That's where our expertise is, our focus is. So, and then when you dive into it a little bit more, it's around monitoring the product and the process itself, and tools and solutions that help the customer set up those processes and keep track to make sure their process is doing well.
Okay.
All around soldering and curing, reflow, wave solder, all of that. That's kind of where our sweet spot is,
Okay.
our expertise.
Okay, fantastic. And you have a stand here at the show, so you're exhibiting, and you found quite an interesting way of demonstrating what you do on your booth, which is creating quite a lot of interest.
Yeah, we have, like I said, we have a variety of solutions. Our embedded systems that monitor are kind of a piggyback into the ovens.
Okay.
So seeing the system, it's not like it's its own machine that the customer can walk up to and say, oh, I like to open it up and close it and do this and that.
Yeah.
It's mainly an array of sensors mounted throughout the oven, and then it's what we do with that in the software where the real value comes.
Mm-hmm.
But explaining, okay, how can you do all these calculations and everything? What is it? It's
Yeah.
the what is it part of the thing that's a challenge. So we actually made a miniature so it would fit in our booth, about a meter long reflow oven.
Okay.
No heaters, but everything else is there. And then have embedded lights to simulate LED lights to simulate sensors. The conveyor's moving, boards are going through, so they can really see, I see how your system works
Yeah.
within the reflow process.
Okay.
We get to the point where customers are looking at it, they stop. So it really helps us to start the conversation of how this is going to bring them value.
Yeah.
Sometimes we've even had people say, oh, that's a nice small oven, I have a lab. How much are the ovens? And I'm like, well, we're not in the oven business. Thermal
yet.
process, yes, but not ovens.
So it's a really nice visual description.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
brilliant, great stuff. And on your stand as well, you're also showing your sort of the other side of your business, the other side of the product, the automated side.
Yeah, so the combination of, we have our profilers,
Yeah.
which the customer will thermocouple their board. They run iterations of profiles through and try to set up the right recipe. And then we have other fixtures that help track what's going on in the machine. With this model oven that we have and the embedded sensors, then we can take that step forward, and that's where we've seen interest at the booth, is move the conversation forward from, okay, I've set up my profile and recipe, but how do I know what's going on a continuous basis? Not is the oven stable, what's happening to the product
Yeah.
going through? And with the challenges now that customers have of more complex assemblies, and with the US in particular, in this market, they're trying to find ways of being competitive, moving production here and staying competitive to low-cost markets.
Yeah.
And automation is a key aspect of that. So if they can automate the profiling process, where there's not manpower involved or engineering time involved every time to validate or verify the profile, that's a big value to the customer.
Mm-hmm.
So with the oven sitting there, and you're talking about profiling, which they're familiar with, it's like, okay, you can take this very low cost next step to
Yeah.
automate, and then it kind of lights up the light bulb, and they're like, oh, okay, I see how that happens and where the value is.
Yeah. Okay. That's fantastic. And and I guess for the customer, it is all about value, all about speed, productivity, all that kind of stuff that's coming in and really important now, because where we were this time last year, I think the market's improved hugely, particularly in the US.
Yeah, we're starting to see there's been a little bit of starts and stops, just because a lot of different things have been happening in the world.
Yeah, the news is always interesting,
yeah.
isn't it?
But you get a sense of the momentum building.
Yeah.
And things are happening, new technologies are coming out. I think it was maybe a different mindset, but there's some similarities as to when the pandemic happened, right? There was things stopped.
Yeah.
And for good reason, and that's happening now, but in shorter cycles. Things stop. There's uncertainty, but that overall demand is building and building to go to that next level of technology, the next level of manufacturing, and we feel it coming on this year, starting last year and into this year. That's kind of about to happen. So
that's good.
It's exciting.
Fantastic. And obviously you brought the new product over to Productronica. You've got it, sort of your new development in Productronica, you've got it here. So what's next for KIC? What are you guys planning?
Well, some of the stuff that we've recently come out with, some of the aspects of the oven that aren't temperature related but impact the product and the quality. We can now check vibration through the profile, not only the temperature profile, but a key point of the conveyor, the mechanicals of the oven, so to speak, and is the board moving too much, especially during liquidus, becomes important for our customers. So we integrated that into our profiling. We even have a kind of a next step for the customers that are profiling now but are unsure, do I need to really fully automate profiling? Well, we have an embedded sensor that they can use just with their profiler. So they already have the investment of the profiler. Now, just with a single sensor cable, they can get insight into what's happening in the oven. And that's our heat map option to our profiling. So it's like a next step. If you look at the technology available from KIC of automation and full process inspection, it kind of gets them to that level.
Yeah.
They can go one more up.
Okay.
And then, we're leveraging off of that to offer our customers more stuff this upcoming year into the other parts of soldering, wave soldering. We're going to have more solutions, selective soldering. That's kind of our outlook for 2026.
Okay, fantastic. It sounds exciting. Well, thank you very much for coming to see us. We look forward to hearing more from you, and I wish you all the best for the rest of the show.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Miles. Thank you.